Too holy for school, French secularism bans pupils from saintly musical. In an ironic twist of divine comedy, French secularism has given the thumbs down to the musical Bernadette de Lourdes as part of the educational trip repertoire, asserting that a sing along with a saint doesn't harmonize with laïcité. This historical musical, which probes the celestial visions of a teenage Bernadette without a single cameo from Virgin Mary, was deemed too heavenly for the staunchly earthbound principles of the French state education. Co-producer Roberto uh, Ciurleo, perplexed by the decision, points out our show is a historical reconstruction in the form of a police investigation drawn from the official records, suggesting that the only spirit that students might encounter is the spirit of inquiry. Meanwhile, the commission, unmoved by the production's secular serenade, has decided that school groups shall not pass through individual students or wait, through has decided that school groups shall not pass through, though individual students are free to go to the play on their own time. Thus, in the land that champions égalité, fraternité, and above all laïcité, a musical about a saint is less Les Misérables and more less misunderstood. Okay,
Okay.
so let me break down what is happening here. So,
Yes.
since 2021, the French educational system has had a quote unquote pass system that has two parts. And in this pass system, they basically give students a stipend of money that they can spend on books or music or streaming services and art. And they get to go make use of that. Another part of this pass, quote unquote, pass system is that students are basically allowed through school trips to go see certain kinds of cultural performances and acts, so to speak. And there was this musical that is about Saint Bernadette, who was a 14-year-old French girl in the 1800s who had visions of the Virgin Mary and then later became a saint. Um, and this musical was rejected from being part of this pass program because the French state has said that this musical is too religious and therefore it is not going to be part of the system where school groups will go to it. They're like, but students are given these passes and allowances. So basically, if they want to, they can go on their own time, but they are not allowed to use the pass system to go as school groups. And the people are basically asking, has French secularism gone too far? Because the directors of the play and the songwriters are like, this isn't even religious. Like, Mother Mary does not appear in this musical once. This is basically positioned and posed through the lens of a police investigation and drawn upon actual texts from that time. And also, they're like, this isn't religious. The director and the songwriters are like, we are atheists. Why are you making the decision that school groups can't see this? Because it's not supposed
Yeah,
to cross
wouldn't it be
their
difficult? Wouldn't it be difficult to do anything historically relevant in France? Because the history of France was full of religion and the church and saints, and so I mean, if you're like, oh my god, you said saints, so the kids can't go there, then that would mean like, okay, then all of France's history is now off limits. I guess no. Wouldn't that be like too much of a? I don't
I know. So this is the question, Armin. Has French secularism, has laïcité gone too
I don't
far?
I don't know. I mean, maybe here, I don't want to. I don't want to say just because here it seems like it's gone too far. That is, in general, it has gone too far. I think that would be, a fallacy to do so. I
Mhm.
don't think that. I don't know how widespread. Finding one example, I don't think it would be fair for us to come up with the conclusion that like this is just widespread bad decisions in the educational system.
Mhm.
I just want to be fair. I just want to be fair.
Yeah.
Has it gone too far before?
Has it gone too far?
Right. Yeah.
I just thought
Like
this was kind of amusing.
yeah.
No, but it is a
People are
difficult question, especially considering France is struggling deeply with integration. You have to be able to talk about the
yeah.
history of
I mean,
France, and the history of France is deeply religious.
yeah. I mean, can you
What do you
visit?
think about this?
Yeah, this
This
I
seems like a
agree. This
contradiction.
yeah, I think so. I think this is too far. I think what you want to avoid is religious teaching, religious brainwashing. Okay, but you cannot avoid religion altogether. There's like a religion everywhere, and people need to be aware of religion. You can't be like, oh, you just said something. I mean, wait, can kids in France not like visit the Notre Dame church as like as part of like you know the school? Can they not go and visit historical sites, for example, that are
Like on a
churches?
field
Are they
trip?
allowed to?
I don't
Like,
know.
yeah, like I mean, this level of sensitivity kind of suggests like you can't go and visit historical sites that are churches if they want to be consistent with this level of sensitivity. I mean, that seems like overly sensitive. I think so. I think so. Here, at
No.
least. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong.
Dee's saying it's a musical. I don't think that is a school requirement. I mean, I agree. I mean, I hate musicals, so let's be clear. And I hate Les Miserables. I hate Les Miserables so much. God, I hate that musical. Um, so I mean, yes,
You're just
someone else
heartless.
was.
You're just heartless
Yeah,
person.
Hammers is saying, think of the children. I want to save these children from the musicals.
Yeah, yeah. Not the
Save the
religion,
children. Yeah,
just
not from the
musical as a
French
whole.
history, but musical as no one deserves being that have that inflicted on them as a child. Okay, how many musical productions was I brought to as a child against my will?
True.
That's the real crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, no, it's not a school requirement, but I think it's more of a question of should this kind of content be something that is disqualified? And based on the descriptions that I have read, I don't think it necessarily should have been disqualified. Maybe if I learned more, I would change my mind.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.